Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Welcome into Purple Daily, a day before Thanksgiving. You're about to see on the screen, it's Judd, it's Declan. Where's Phil? Well, he went to Las Vegas for the weekend. So he is gone, but it's write that down Wednesday. So that does not mean that we are going to be lacking in predictions, because we've got guest predictor Brad. We have Mackie, who sent in his takes to Declan. We have plenty. Of course, this show brought to you by our friends, as always, presenting sponsor, which we appreciate greatly, from Quick Trip. And also the show brought to you by our friends, our longtime friends at Surly Brewing. Before I die, that is the mission statement of this show. It's the mission statement of our friends at Surly, and that is, before we all die, we'd like to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl. But there is a beer specially made titled Before I Die. Check it out at your local liquor stores or at your local bar, and also enjoy what decks. You got the Furious, you got the Logic Bomb. I mean, we could go down a long list.
I'm going to guess Judd is, he's very thankful for, his wife and Stella, of course, and football.
God, yeah. Yep.
But his Surly products, I'm guessing tomorrow will also be very thankful for.
Let's say they'll be prominent. They will be prominent.
Yeah.
Thankful and prominent, because yes, in fact, I have stocked up. All right, let's get to it. Write that down. You're looking at the rules right now. Declan is going to explain the rest before we get to Brad.
And no, I got some notes. I won't do this all in Collinsworth voice, so everyone can just kind of enjoy this show. Otherwise, I mean, you'd enjoy the Collinsworth impression. But for the sanity of the show, I will not do this in Collinsworth voice.
Listened back to the clip that you put on X last night, and the voice was even better than I thought live.
Yeah, I think if you were, if you didn't see the video, you might think it's Chris Collinsworth on the screen with us on Purple Daily. You would never know.
It was good. It was very good. Anyway, all right, in your own voice, explain the rules.
All right, so here's how Write That Down works. We're going to have 3 Vikings or football-related or show-related predictions from everybody each week. Our guy Brad's going to join us here in just a little bit after we run through our accountability session. Of course, on the Purple Daily edition, we keep track of completion percentages and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to participate, shoot me a message through the Score North app. I think I have one more spot opened up for the end of 2023, so I think that's December 27th. Shoot me a note, and then afterwards I'll obviously start booking people into 2024. We're only Judd? 8 weeks? Or a little more, 10 weeks? 10 weeks away or so from the end of the season?
Unbelievable how fast time goes.
Been a jammed pack. So we'll start with Judd here. You had one thing come off the board. I don't have my sounders either. We're running a cappella. So Josh Dobbs will have more passing and rushing yards than Russell Wilson. That did not come true. So that was
There you go.
We'll go to Mackie. A couple things off the board. Not a bad week.
Not a bad day. No.
Not a bad week for Phil. He said the Vikings will have a double-digit lead against the Broncos in the first quarter. Incorrect, unfortunately. He said Joe Burrow will win the NFL MVP. Well, Burrow's out for the year with a wrist-hand injury situation.
Tough season for him.
Coming. Yeah, weird year. Weird year,
injuries.
Right? And the calf derailed him for a month. Then he got hot. Then he looked like Joe Burrow. And then he got injured. It's too bad.
What's Vinny Boy doing?
Vinny is chewing on the end of his rear end, and I'm trying to make him stop chewing on his butt. So that's
Stella has the same problem. I shame her.
Yeah, I just had to I had to reprimand you live on Purple Daily, Vincent, for
stop
doing
it.
That. Now he's sniffing the bed. You're just doing okay. All right,
that's okay. That's
but 2 green things. 2 green for Mackie. Ty Chandler will have a 20-yard rushing gain before Alexander Madison. That did come true finally this last week. And Josh Oliver will set a career high in receptions. So he did. He did that as well. He's not just a good blocker. He's not just a PFF guy. Not just an Alex Boone guy. He's also catching some passes there. All right, listeners. Few things off the board here. Start with the bad. Nick said Ty Chandler will finish with more rushing yards than Alexander Madison. I believe he meant that. Did he mean that for the game? Because, I thought this was a season-long prediction. Didn't Nick do this with us last week?
I have you know me. I have no recollection. It reads like a season-long prediction.
Yeah, I think this is. We're gonna have to maybe gray this out. This is where Phil. I'm reading the prompter here. Phil has done the prompter.
I wonder if we need to. But you take the notes that you send to Phil, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he meant this as a season-long
Let's see if Nick
prediction.
can shoot you a note. I'm guessing that Nick will be truthful about this.
Yeah.
Let's give Nick the benefit of the doubt and have him shoot you a note to clarify, but it reads like a season prediction.
Yeah, I'm about 90% sure it's a season-long prediction, so this will affect the listeners' completion percentage on this episode. But Adam and Aton said the Vikings will score a touchdown on their opening drive against Denver. That did not happen. Cody Finch, our buddy Cody Finch from Finch Home Solutions, said the Vikings will not lose a game until the Bengals game. They lost to Denver on Sunday. But Adam
should have been right.
He should have been right. He did. Adam and Aton did redeem themselves. They said Josh Dobbs will rush for at least 30 yards against the Saints. That did come true. It's a nice little prediction there. And then a touchdown here from Greg. Remember, the Vikings already converted a fake punt earlier this season, and he was still in limbo because of it. But this comes off the board as a touchdown. The Vikings will convert a fake punt on 4th and 4 or more.
That's really nice.
Nice
That's
little
very
touchdown
impressive.
throw.
Way to go, Greg.
Nice little touchdown throw. Okay, a few things off the board for me as well. I said Josh Dobbs' first completion against the Broncos will be to T.J. Hawkinson. It was not to T.J.
You
Hawkinson.
were mocked for this.
I was mocked.
And it was not by me, and I'm not quite sure because I made the exact same prediction like a month ago or 3 weeks ago. I one, was not mocked, and two, I don't understand, like, how is that? I mean, yes, he might throw to Hawkinson, but it was just. But you said first completion. Ultimately, we were both wrong. Yeah. And Phil mocked you. I was a little bit taken aback by the mocking on that. I love to mock.
No, let's throw stones with Phil not being here. I don't really understand the mocking of something that is a very specific situation with, numerous targets on the field, even sans JJ. And apparently that's a check down or a cowardly prediction. I disagree.
I was
disagree.
surprised.
I'm with you, Judd.
I was taken aback. All right.
I said the Vikings' first touchdown against the Broncos will be a Josh Dobbs rushing touchdown. He almost stuck it in, but instead he flipped that ball a little bit on that great play. Was that to Oliver? Who did he flip that to?
Josh Oliver. Josh Oliver. And then you did get the rushing touchdown. You just got it too late.
Yep. Specific. Them's the breaks on. Write that down. I said Brandon Staley will be the first head coach to be fired. It was Josh McDaniels, although Staley's seat might be piping hot.
Who do you hate more?
Who do I hate?
Between those two, because you do hate McDaniels. I know you hate McDaniels.
I think gun to the head, I would probably rather have Brandon Staley as a head coach. Josh McDaniels is a buffoon. Like, he is an absolute buffoon. Brandon Staley is just unqualified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Josh McDaniels has the resume to at least be a good head coach. He's been around a bunch of situations, and I know he's been milked by the Patriots, but, like, McDaniels is just an idiot. And Brandon Staley, you have a generational great quarterback. You're supposed to be a defensive guru, and your defense has stunk for 3 years. So it's very Chargers-like. It's just very Chargers-like.
Staley also seems to be super thin-skinned. McDaniels seems to be a genuinely bad guy.
Yes.
I don't know if Staley's a bad guy. I think he just might be in over his head. Yes. He's really thin-skinned. I have never heard a good thing or seen a good thing from Josh McDaniels where I'm like, oh, yeah, he's an okay guy. I think he's a real ass.
All right, but I made this prediction right at the beginning of the year. I think it was either right after week 1 or going into week 1. I said the Vikings will wear their 60/70 throwbacks at least twice. So they wore them in week 1 against the Bucs. They're going to wear them again next Monday night against the Chicago Bears. So they will bring those back. And then I also saw, this is not on the board, they're going to do a whiteout on Christmas Eve. The Vikings Twitter announced that also on Wednesday morning. So
did it last year too?
Yes, that's right. They did. But 2023 stats, here's how it's looking.
Look at
I'm sitting on top. Sitting on top, but not by much, by a point. A 1.3% lead over Mackey at 36%, Judd at 35%, listeners at 25.3%. Touchdown race, Judd is leading at 10, Mackey and myself tied at 9, listeners with 6. All time, I lead the completion percentage by just 0.9%. 35.8 for me, 32 touchdowns. Judd has been racking up touchdowns during this football season. I will say you were lowly on the touchdowns.
Yeah, I've gotten 18 to 28, I believe.
34.9% completion percentage. Phil at 33.2, but he leads all time with 42 tutties, and listeners 23.6% with 33 touchdowns. All right, that's your accountability session here on Purple Daily. Let's get our guests in here. Let's get our guy B-Rad. Brad, what's up, man? Hey. Welcome to Purple Daily.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic. I like the hat. Is that a new design? Yeah. Yeah, have Declan narrate your hat.
Went to the VikingsStore.com here.
It's a very nice hat.
He's
I
just
like
a
that.
guy looking for a new little bit of swag. He goes to the
Lid.
Jeep store. I
Right.
like it.
You got to throw in lid.
That's true. Brad, when did you first become a Vikings fan? What's your first conscious memory of being a Vikings fan?
Ooh, yeah, we got to go back to 1987. So of course the Twins won the World Series. We're riding high, then the Vikings smoked the 49ers in the playoffs during their dynasty. So I'm thinking, hey, nothing gets better than this, right? We're going to the Super Bowl, Minnesota sports. Nothing gets better than Minnesota sports. Then, yep.
That was a weird year too, because that was the year of the strike in the middle of the season when they used replacement players for I think 3 games, and the Vikings accrued a replacement team that was god awful. So I think they lost all 3 games, but the Vikings' real team was good, but they counted the losses. And then so they opened on the road against the Saints, and Anthony Carter had a good game, really good game. Then to your point, they go to Candlestick and play the Niners, and Anthony Carter balls out. It's unbelievable. And yeah, you're right.
Is that still a receiving yard record for the playoffs?
I think it is. I think it is. And that starts though, like if you sort of want to trace the NFC Championship game defeats of this team that have ripped your heart out, that sort of starts that. Because in the 70s they went to the 4 Super Bowls, and so but 87, and then it took a while, but 98. So you were on. So yes, you were not on the start of a Vikings dynasty. You were on the start of having your heart ripped out. So congratulations, welcome aboard. All these years later, Brad.
Yeah, here I am.
All right, Brad. So we're gonna start with you. We're gonna go around 3 times each. You're gonna lead us off. What is your first prediction here, sir?
So did you guys see the stat during the game against the Broncos where Josh Dobbs is the first player with a new team to score a rush and a pass TD in his first 3 games with a new team?
Yep.
My prediction is that he will extend that streak. He will get at least 1 rush and 1 pass TD against the Bears on Monday night.
I like that.
I think that's very solid. I think you just sniped a pick of mine, so I'm gonna have to enhance mine.
You sniped one of mine last week. I was listening. It was going to be Stephon Diggs will no longer be on the Bills, and that was your last prediction last week. And I was in the car and I was pounding the console.
Road rage, because I write that down. That's not our goal here. All right, I will. I'm going to give you one that won't be done Sunday or Monday, but it will be pretty quick. Nick Mullens will play at least 5 snaps for the Vikings between now and the end of the regular season. Nick Mullens. So it could be because Dobbs gets hurt. It could be because he turns over the football. But I feel like there's a good enough opportunity here. It's not a slam dunk, but I feel like there's an opportunity here where there's going to be some uncertainty at some point. And Dobbs does run enough to get hurt. So I'm going to give Nick Mullens at least 5 snaps before the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in a perfect world, the only way I would like for this to come true is if like the Vikings wrapped up a playoff seed and they can't move, in the last week of the season against the Lions or something.
Nothing's easy, Declan.
It is.
Well,
this is
Mullens,
true.
he's not Dobbs as far as mobility, but he can move around more than Kirk.
Yes. And he was immediately once he got off the IR for the Broncos game, he was immediately reinstated as the backup. So Jaren Hall's now back to the third, which I didn't know. I wasn't sure if that would take place. So I'm just thinking that if something happens with Dobbs, it's going to be Nick Mullens who comes in. Dex?
All right, I'm gonna give you my first one here, Judd. We, I think you and I were also in sync. Speaking of being in sync over the last week's accountability session, and also, you and I kind of nitpicking KOC to a degree again. Phil Mackey not agreeing with that assessment. I'm gonna make a prediction here about KOC being a little bit more aggressive. So write this down. The Vikings will convert at least 1 4th down inside their own 50 against the Bears. So they will go for it on a 4th down inside their 50, and they will convert it. He won't kick a field goal. He won't punt the ball. They'll go for it on 4th down. They will successfully convert it, at least 1 4th down conversion inside their end of the field against the Bears. Write it down.
So when you say that, the Vikings will be in Bears territory?
Yes, I'm sorry. In Bears
Plus territory.
Plus territory. I said inside
Okay.
their own 50. I did not mean
Yeah,
that. Yes,
inside Bears.
I had the wrong thing.
So
there.
he
Yes,
won't
thank
punt
you.
again on fourth and 1 or fourth and half a yard from the Broncos 48, which he never should have done.
That was disappointing.
Was.
Yeah.
Didn't get that. Still don't get that.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to Mackie here. He's live from satellite. Let's see what he has on the board here for his first prediction.
Hey everyone, happy Thanksgiving weekend here. Before I make my first prediction on Purple Daily, a shout out to our friends over at AG1. So I discovered AG1 products 6 years ago from one of my favorite podcasts, the Tim Ferriss Show, actually. And so now it's pretty cool that I get to tell you guys on this podcast about AG1 and how it provides great nutritional insurance to start your day or to boost maybe the middle of your day. 75 high quality ingredients that, if you're not great at getting all the nutrients you need through just natural foods and eating, like I'm guilty of from time to time, AG1 is foundational nutritional supplement insurance that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, immune support. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/purple daily. That's drinkag1.com/purple daily. So I've been talking about pretty much all season long, even going back to last year, how the Vikings never blow anyone out. And by blow anyone out, I'm just sort of saying 3-score games or more. The last time it happened was actually week 15 of the 2019 season. So write this down. The Vikings will beat the Bears on Monday night by at least 17 points. A 3-score win for the Vikings for the first time in 4 years. Write it down.
Ow. 17.
Where did that come from Mackie?
17.
Wow, he is
never happens. It never happens.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I mean, the Bears, to their credit, they're not good, but they did give Detroit a scare, and Detroit's turned out to be a good team. So, okay then.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't.
That Saints game too. What was it? 27-3.
Yeah.
I was like, finally we can relax.
Yep.
No.
I'm surprised he didn't try to pass that off as a touchdown pass too. I'm surprised he didn't try and say, "Hey, this is a touchdown," because then we can't debate him because he's not with us on the show. It would have been brilliant. All right, Brad, back to you. What do you got for us?
All right, I got a little Turkey Day parlay, little 3 items. So I'm going to pick the winners, and I really don't see any upsets happening on Thanksgiving. We got the Lions playing the Packers, we got the Cowboys playing the Commies, and the 49ers playing the Seahawks, who might be without Geno Smith. So I'm going to pick all the favorites, but I'm going to also pick them to cover. So as of last night, the Lions were 7.5 over the Packers. The Cowboys were 11 over the Commies, and the 49ers were 6.5 over the Seahawks.
Okay. So that's a definite. That's a touchdown if you just picked 3 teams. So that's a definite touchdown.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little too easy, because they're so favored. I feel
no, but a double-digit spread in a Thanksgiving Day game between NFC East teams, divisional game, that's a good one. That takes some cojones. All right. My next prediction actually brought to you by our friends, as Declan mentioned them earlier, Finch Home Solutions, because Cody Finch and his team at Finch Home Solutions are going to make sure that any electrical issues that you have in your home, big or small, are taken care of. Courteous, professional, quick. They will do the job, and they'll do it effectively. I'm talking huge projects. I'm talking small ones. If you're going to put in a hot tub, we've been talking about this. It's hot tub season now, right? So let's say you're thinking for Christmas, or you've already pulled the trigger on a hot tub. Well, guess what? A lot of electrical work to be done there. And Finch Home Solutions can do all of the wiring and set that up so that the hot tub can go in, it can be safe, and you can enjoy it. It's this simple. Give them a call, 612-357-2604, 612-357-2604, or go to their revamped, redone, and now really nice website, finchhomesolutions.com, finchhomesolutions.com. Cody and his team will take care of you. All right, write this down, Declan. This is very simple. But it's not the slam dunk it once was, because the Gophers have had some success here. But I feel like the season has gone so far off the tracks. The Gophers will lose to the Badgers on Saturday at home. The Gopher football team. I'm going to work in a rare college prediction, but it's been, I mean, for the most part, it's just been miserable. They blow, a 21-point lead at Northwestern.
Yeah.
The Illinois loss, inexcusable. The Purdue loss looks worse now because Northwestern beat Purdue, and Purdue curb stomped you. They're going to lose. The axe is going where? The axe is going home. The axe is going back to Madtown, completing what's just been a miserable campaign. And by the way, if that happens, the only way I think the Gophers will be bowl eligible is if there's not enough, 6-win teams, and they get in based on their academics. So that will be a huge disappointment.
Off the record, will it be all on PJ?
Of course, it's always on PJ. He doesn't really explain it, and then by Tuesday, it's like the NIL screws us, everything screws us. But on Saturday, it's all on me.
Okay.
He's got to stop. He's not getting fired. Nobody even cares anymore. Dex.
All right, next prediction from me. I'm going to do a defensive prediction here. So Justin Fields, a little reckless with the football. He can get that ball wiped out. He might throw a pick. But I want to be very specific here. The Vikings defense will have a scoop and score against the Bears on Monday Night Football. A specific scoop and score. So whether it's Justin Fields or anyone, if they drop that ball, Vikings run it back for a defensive touchdown. So a pick six would not work here. I'm being very specific with the scoop and score.
It's a touchdown for you then, for sure.
Yes, so the Vikings defense, write this down, will have a scoop and score against the Bears on Monday Night
Off
Football.
the record, who gets it? Not part of the
prediction. Well, I'm trying to think, because I think one of the linemen will most likely swipe that sucker out. Maybe Ivan Pace runs it up. Maybe Harry the Hitman
pulls a hammy running into the end zone.
Yeah. That place would.
You know this team too well.
That place would go ballistic though if Anthony Barr ran that back. It would go insane.
Absolutely.
All right, let's hear from Phil. Prediction number 2 from him via satellite.
Okay, prediction number 2 here. I'm a little worried that our guy, the Pastronaut, is going to get hit by an asteroid on the football field. I just feel like he's taking some big hits. He's running around, reckless abandon, and I just feel like here's my prediction. Jaren Hall or Nick Mullens will start a game for the Vikings at some point before this season's over. Okay. Now there's a backdoor loophole there that if like week 18 doesn't really matter, maybe one of those guys jumps in. Maybe it's a performance related thing. Dobbs throws a bunch of picks and they want to take a look at Jaren Hall, but I just have a feeling that Jaren Hall or Nick Mullens will start a game at some point this year for the Vikings.
All right. It's not my. He might be right. I'm just trying to. I could also see if Dobbs has ball possession problems again. I could also see a frustration and Mullens being put in, but Dobbs still starting. So yeah, there's a lot of things here that certainly could transpire. All right, Brad, back to you for your third and final.
All right. Well, I think what is there? 6 games left in the season. We got Daniil Hunter. He's I think second in the league in sacks right now. I'm going to predict that he's going to have at least 7 more sacks in the last 6 games, but he will not finish with the NFL lead.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's probably true. But you know what? If he does, I heard this on the telecast on Sunday. I think he needs a half sack more to trigger $1 million bonus, and another sack after that to trigger another $1 million. And his
triggered one, right?
I think he triggered one, but I think it's 3 potentially, and he is going to get paid either by the Vikings or someone.
Yeah, I say bye, Kirk. Keep Neil. Keep rolling with some guys that can run around at quarterback.
Absolutely.
All right, B-Rad, before we say goodbye here, any shout-outs you'd love to give here on Purple Daily?
Oh yeah, well, definitely to my mom. My mom's always been the sports fan in my family. She took me to every home game for the '91 Twins playoffs and World Series.
What a mom. Moms are
Yeah,
great.
we sat out in left field in the lower deck,
Mhm.
watched everything happen right there. It was amazing. Couple things I wanted to throw out was, since tomorrow's Thanksgiving, some things that I was thankful for
Oh yeah.
in regards to the show here. So, Judd, I'm thankful for your insight and intuition as far as like the way that you can read some of these press conferences and sometimes what people are saying, or even more what they're not saying.
Yeah.
Like the way that you've inferred things, it's kind of uncanny.
Thank you.
So that's fun to watch.
Appreciate that.
Mackie, wherever you are via satellite land, I'm thankful for your quick wit and for always fending off the Crusaders. I feel like he's at the front door of the castle there, and they're just climbing across the moat, and he's just fending them off. And I don't know how you can interact with some of these people on social media and keep it civil, but kudos. And Declan, you're a real intelligent guy, but man, your grammar sometimes, man, it's bad. I'm thankful for you. Make me feel really like I'm an English teacher. I'm riding around for work all day, and I'm like, oh, what did he just say? Like, okay, this is you. You crack me up sometimes. I mean, you got some really good takes, but sometimes I would be the same way if I was constantly on mic. I'd be like, bah, bah, bah,
We all struggle at times, Brad.
Yeah.
We all struggle at
yeah,
times.
Go Huskies. St. Cloud State. That's all.
Blame St. Cloud State.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, Brad. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, and good luck with your predictions. Okay.
all right, thanks.
Thanks, Brad. Talk to you.
All right. All right, so we got one more lap of predictions here before we get to it, though. Let's shout out our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy, one of the best ways to get a sweat on a game. In fact, if you're a new user and you want to get in on it, why don't you sign up with promo code SCORE, SKOR. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you get a mystery pick'em special, too. So it's a fun little way to get in on the action. You got a bunch of Thanksgiving games. You got the Black Friday game. Plenty of Sunday options, and also mixed sports. If you want to bet on the NFL or make a slip on the NFL and NBA, you can do that at Underdog Fantasy. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app, promo code SCORE, SKOR, for a $100 deposit match.
All right, my third and final prediction. I'm going to change mine because it was originally Dobbs was going to rush for a touchdown and throw one, and Brad took that, and I would have to build on that prediction, and I'm not sure it's worth it. So I am going to go with this. Justin Fields will throw at least 2 interceptions in Monday night's game. Justin Fields will throw at least 2 picks. I think that the Vikings defense stands to confuse him a bit. That's what they're good at. Justin Fields, I don't know how well he reads defenses. He certainly could take off and run as well, but I think he throws at least 2 picks. So 2 or more picks, I think is the best way to put it, just so I cover myself, Declan.
I like it. All right, last one for me. I'm going to do another, I'm doing an NFL kind of overarching one. So we already saw Josh McDaniels get fired. Obviously, Brandon Staley's seat is hot. So write this down. At least one more NFL coach will be fired in the month of November.
Ooh.
So be specific with the rest of this month here. So I believe,
Yeah,
8 days
I know
left or so.
Yeah, I know what you're doing too.
Trying to redeem myself for the
No.
Staley prediction.
No, I don't think you're trying to redeem yourself. I think you just want him fired so bad you can taste it.
I will say,
and he's breaking. You got him on the ropes right now. He's breaking.
I will, Ron Rivera could be fired by the end of the month. I think he'll probably get the season.
Yeah, I do too.
But,
I do too.
You never know. Other random things can happen. So I'm going to say one more coach fired, but specifically in the month of November. So we'll see what happens. It's probably Staley, probably my guy, Brandon Staley, but we'll certainly see if someone can get fired before the end of the month.
I feel because the Commanders are owned by a new guy. I feel like the situation there is you allow the current coach to coach out the year and then gas him because if you just bought a team, you're trying to get to know all about the team, right? Mm-hmm. Staley, there's no confidence there, and he's a defensive guy, and they've got a guy who you can install, your guy, Kellen Moore, as the interim coach for Justin Herbert. And by the way, it makes no sense that the Chargers, with this, potentially like generationally good quarterback, it makes no sense that they don't have an offensive coach.
I know.
So there's a lot of things, but this is you're willing Brandon Staley. Like, you literally want to see him fired so bad that you can taste it. It's fact. Speaking of tasting, I'd like to talk about my friends at Park Tavern, St. Louis Park, located off Louisiana Avenue South. We're recording this a day before Thanksgiving, so if you are consuming this show, you can have more consumption. You don't have Thanksgiving plans? Well, guess what? Park Tavern has a Thanksgiving plan for you, and I am looking at the playbook right now, and it looks scrumptious. Turkey, veggies, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, salad. I could go on and on. For $23.95, Park Tavern has a tableside buffet for Thanksgiving Day. For $16.95, a single plate dinner, 952-929-6810. While you're there, you can get a gift card. In fact, on Black Friday, gift card special, buy a Park Tavern $100 gift card. You're going to get a $50 gift card for free. These are extremely popular. If it's not Black Friday, buy a $100 gift card. Get a $25 gift card for free. In other words, Park Tavern, they've got all the games on. They've got all the drinks. They've got all the food, including the Thanksgiving Day special. They've got bowling. Dex and I have both been there several times. It is your one-stop place for a great time. St. Louis Park, Louisiana Avenue South, parktavern.net is where you want to go to check out all the details for the official sports bar of Sports Dad, Declan.
All right, let's get to Phil Mackey here for his third and final prediction.
Okay, final prediction. The San Francisco 49ers are currently the 3 seed in the NFC. You got the Eagles, you got the Lions in front of them. I think the Niners are 2 games back of the 1 seed, but write this down. The 49ers will be the number 1 seed in the NFC for the playoffs this year. Off the record, I think there's a chance they win every game left on their regular season schedule, which would put them at like 14-3. Niners, the 1 seed. Write it down.
All right. He loves himself some 49ers. He loves himself that team. I'm not sure Philadelphia is going to give that up, Declan.
Well, I mean, what? They got the Lions this week. Who do they have after that? They have another, was it the Cowboys? They have a tough sledding here. Philly does.
Yep. But they are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty damn legit. Yeah, I like San Francisco. I think I might like Philly a little bit more, but San Francisco, with Debo back especially, it's a completely different team. Phil's not wrong about that.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like have seen Philly or have said like Philly hasn't played their best football and they like grind it out, but that style works. You know what I mean? Like it's not the sexiest style, but it works and it grinds your bones down, man. I mean, they're running the football down.
It's playoff football.
It's exactly. It's not like this air raid fun offense, but man, like if the Vikings have to go to Philly for a playoff game, I don't feel too good about those chances.
No, and the quarterback is really good too. So like it works. He can make plays. I absolutely, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, I love his demeanor too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like if guys get pissed, he like goes back at them, but it's like you can tell it's sort of controlled. I don't know. There's something about how he carries himself that I really, really like.
Totally.
And that we've seen guys not have that. He seems to have that hard to quantify it factor.
Yeah.
That a lot of guys don't have. And on Purdy, I just don't know yet. Like, I feel like I haven't seen enough, in part because he didn't play here, but I haven't seen enough of him. I know he's been successful and it's a great story, but I don't know if he's got the same it factor that a guy like Hurts clearly has.
Yeah, Jalen just has, like you said, that demeanor. I forget the quote that they said in pregame or towards the start of the Chiefs game on Monday night, but about like how he only learns and wins and losses he learns from other things too. Like he had a great quote, and to your point, like his podiums and the way he carries himself.
Yep.
You'd run through a wall for that guy if you were his teammate.
Just like Kirk.
Exactly. Exact same demeanor, exact same.
Just like Kirk.
Exactly. Hey, before we say goodbye here on Purple Day, a little programming note, because it is Thanksgiving weekend. We know you have the holidays coming up, whether you're driving or flying or whatnot, so we just want to update you guys on our schedule here. So tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day, we'll have a rewind episode. Mackie and Judd did a rewind, so we'll have that for you tomorrow. On Friday, Purple Access with Tyler Fornes, Judd, and myself. That'll be out on Friday. Saturday, We'll have another rewind episode for you too, so another classic one to binge. Again, maybe you're driving home from the in-laws or you're doing shopping. We'll have another episode, of course, because we're Purple Daily. We have episodes of Daily Vikings Entertainment. And then on Sunday, Purple Picks. Us three, Mackie, Judd, and myself will be back for Purple Picks on Sunday before, obviously, Vent Line on Monday night. A little wonky schedule here with holidays and the Vikings not playing on Sunday, so just wanted to update everyone. Is Purple Daily going to go away for the weekend?
No,
No.
Purple Daily never goes away. And Sunday,
no.
a Red Zone Sunday.
That's right.
No Vikings, so it's a Red Zone Sunday, my favorite.
All right, so hit that subscribe button for Daily Vikings Entertainment. This is Purple Daily, and enjoy your Thanksgiving, where we just all want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die.
All right, welcome into Stepping Up, presented by Federated Insurance, where we talk with next-generation business owners and business leaders about their process, about their philosophies, what challenges they face, and their vision for the future of business. And our guest on this episode is the Chief Operating Officer of the Minnesota Timberwolves, a man who has seen a lot of basketball and a lot of sports business the last 20 or 25 years, Ryan Tanke. Thank you for joining, Ryan.
Great to see you, Phil. Great to be here. Thank you for having me on. This is fun.
A friend of mine who's done some business leadership consulting throughout the last 20 years. And he's always said, everyone has a different definition of leadership. The way that he defines leadership is facilitating the success of your team, essentially. Do you have a way that you define leadership? Do you have any sort of like what is leadership to you, I guess?
Yeah, I think leadership is helping people unlock and achieve, things that they otherwise sometimes don't believe are possible. Sometimes they just need, help with a roadmap. So I think it's helping people unlock and achieve is sort of leadership. We talk all the time here, Phil, about, impact. And so I think the number one obligation and responsibility of a leader is like create impact. And I don't mean like on the business, I mean on the people, which is, I look at two things every day are kind of by filter, which is one, who did I impact today? And two is how do I want to be remembered? And if I can, go through that impact and legacy aspects of this, oftentimes you're going to make the right decisions along the way.
Love it, man. Love to hear that. And appreciate your insights on business leadership. And yeah, Ryan, it was great catching up. Thanks for your time today, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Love doing it and love to do it again sometime.
Ryan Tanke, the Chief Operating Officer of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Minnesota Lynx here on Stepping Up, presented by Federated Insurance.